Hawkeye is a show. Disney Plus.
It's a show. You were not into the first few episodes, and then episode 5 and 6 you watched back to back pretty much, right? Because you texted me and you said you were right. I just watched these both back to back, so you clearly got into it.
I feel like it kind of Carrie shrugged. I think is the correct reference. Like it had like a fucked up ankle. You know, it was nobody thought it was gonna be doing much, but it stuck the landing one legged.
Something else that's nice about it is very clear that it happens after No Way Home. In No Way Home, there's a scene where they're taking down Halloween decorations.
Oh, okay.
Early in the movie, it's not like that doesn't tell you anything. It just gives you a timeline setting, a firm timeline setting.
Yeah,
that's all it does.
Yeah, exactly. It's like visual. It's a mise en scène that tells you like what's going on in the world.
Right, because every so often people are debating like what happened at what order for Marvel Universe. Yeah. This clearly happens during Christmas, and No Way Home is clearly happening in November.
Yeah. So what happened in 4, 5, and 6?
4 was the rooftop fight.
Okay, that was Yelena's first appearance.
First showed up.
Where she's there, and from Black Widow, you're like she's here to kill Clint because he killed her sister, in her mind.
Yes.
Then you find out that she's there to kill him because she was hired by someone.
Yes, which was established at the end of Black Widow.
Yeah. You later find out that it's Kate's mom that hired her because Kate's mom works for Kingpin.
Yep.
And then Kingpin is running some sort of criminal underbelly. Not really running, but he's like in charge of the tracksuit mafia.
Which is a large group.
Yeah. And then a lot more people than I expected.
Yeah.
And then 6 is the Bishop holiday party where Kingpin and his people want to kill Kate's mom because she wants out. And then Clint and Kate are trying to prevent that from happening, obviously. And Elena's still trying to kill Clint. That's pretty much it, right? That's like all the major stuff that's going on.
And Echo is trying to work out her situation. She's trying to leave too.
It's trying to figure out really who's responsible for her father's death. Because in one of those episodes, Clint as Ronan tells her that he got a tip off from someone within their organization.
Episode 5.
And that's why her dad ended up dead. So that all comes to a head.
In episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kazi's there. The tracksuits are there. The LARPers are there at the party.
Yep.
Which is weird at first, but then you're like, well, a lot of them are like firefighters and police.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly.
And I think if they weren't helping, I think if they weren't helping an Avenger, there's no way they would have been like, yeah, sure, we'll dress up as wait staff and also possibly fight some people for you.
Yeah, exactly. They were definitely doing that because of who asked them to do it.
We have Jack, who's fresh out of getting locked up.
Yep.
They had nothing on him because he hasn't worked a day in his life. He just enjoys swords. I love that he's just like so from the wealthy class, but not a piece of shit.
Yeah. He was like the feel good character. I think at the end of it. Dude. Yeah, you were like, oh shit, I thought this guy sucked, but he's actually kind of great.
Yeah, like I don't think I would like him if I just met him, but if I was around him enough, I'd be like, all right, he's just genuinely a goofball.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I can enjoy that. But he's just casually slashing people.
Big question at the end of this episode: did anybody die other than the dudes that got taken away by the owl? They're probably fucking dead.
So, yeah, they're dead. And I think I think the body count for Clint and Kate was pretty high towards the end there.
Maybe.
You think arrows to the chest aren't going to kill somebody, dude?
Were they taking arrows to the chest though? Really?
There was some arrows to the chest. There was some explosions.
The explosions, yeah. I mean, like I feel like they're gonna eventually succumb to their injuries, but
the guy that got his leg frozen off, like that's amazing. Like, is that just gonna cut off like all the circulation there so that way at least it's just a clear amputation?
Yeah, who knows?
We'll see. These are some overwhelmed hospitals at this point because there were so many dudes, just waves and waves of dudes getting blown the fuck up, getting shrunk and turned into owl food, getting set on fire, getting frozen, getting electrocuted, getting just jammed with needles spiraling in all directions.
That too. Those could hit some eyeballs, which is a huge fucking yikes.
Yeah, right. The control of those things is crazy that it doesn't go back at Kate and Clint at all, because I was like, there seems to be going in 360 degrees here.
It's a little unbelievable that none of that will go their direction, but yeah. You got to suspend disbelief for stuff like that. I mean, they're shooting arrows that make people into like a toy truck. You know, this whole franchise is a suspension of disbelief. But yeah, would you say that the back half of this is better than the first half?
I think episode 3 was fantastic in particular because it really like went to like the Clint deafness and like the deaf community kind of overall, and like the way that people have to cope with things and communicate and work together and all of that in ways that nobody really considers. So I think in the storytelling aspect, I think episode 3 especially was very, very, very good. As far as like fun and more what people think they're buying into in the MCU when they go to a project, the back half obviously is delivering way higher on what people are looking for. Once Yelena's there, like, you know, she chews up every scene she's in. She's just amazing. The stuff with Echo is like, I'm excited for that series because I do want to see like kind of what, you know, what I was talking about in episode 3 being a thing, like that kind of life and all of that.
The scenes with Kate and Yelena were like fucking great.
Always great.
Super good.
They need to have them working together through more projects. That's for sure.
I was like, if they don't end up teaming up at some point for something, it's a huge missed opportunity because
huge miss.
Like them on the elevator and stuff, it's like probably the best part of the show. Like take all the fight scenes away. I want more of that.
The way Yelena just talks down to Kate, like she likes her, but she just talks down to her is so funny.
Yeah, it's so good. They had a great like dynamic that was really well written and acted.
I mean, realistically, what we're establishing is the action in the show is very good, but really like the talking was great.
I mean, like, isn't that the case for like most MCU shit? Honestly, like when it comes down to it, some of the stuff, the action is cool, but it's more like what makes you care about the action. You know, it's not the action. Like in WandaVision, it's just two women floating, throwing fireballs at each other. In this too, like the trick arrows are cool, but like they're shooting an arrow that's like shooting needles everywhere, being immune to the needle damage apparently. But the smaller moments between characters will really draw you in, because if you didn't care about them, you wouldn't care about any of it. So that's the most important part. Like I said, I think it stuck. I think it was kind of rough at the beginning, but it stuck the landing.
Yep.
There was a lot of cool shit reference wise that happened for me. I liked this the more I thought about it. I said when we first talked about the first half that it was probably the worst MCU show so far, and now it's like I don't even know how to have that argument. I would say it's not, but I don't know. It definitely got a lot better for me.
They all have their place, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing feels inferior or like it doesn't belong.